everybody, I am back with another video. Today is I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited for this video. I know it's been a while since I've posted, but there's a good reason for that, and that's because in this video we're doing a giant book haul, and the reason we're having a giant book haul is because it was recently my birthday, and I only asked for books for my birthday, and I made a super hyper specific list, and my family's amazing, and I cannot wait to show you guys all of the new books that I have, and I'm so excited to read. So let's get into it. So I'm going to show you first some books that were not for my birthday. I just picked them up recently. Two of them I bought with some money that I got for my birthday, but the first two are Patrick Rothfuss' The Name of the Wind. I saw this super nice paperback copy at the local thrift, and I was like, I should get this. This is a staple, I feel, in more modern fantasy, high fantasy, and it follows Kvothe. And I'll just read the backs of the books to you guys, because I'm not really going to go into super detail about any of them. But I have stolen princesses back from sleeping Barrow kings. I burned down the town of Trevorn. I have spent the night with Felurian and left with both my sanity and my life. I was expelled from the university at a younger age than most people are allowed in. I tread paths by moonlight that other fears to speak of during day. I have talked to God's loved women and written songs that make the minstrels weep. You may have heard of me. So it's a very high fantasy novel, very famous, and I couldn't pass up a copy in such nice condition for $1. So we'll see if I like that one. Then we have the first book in the Hornblower saga, being Mr. Midshipman Hornblower. This follows a 17-year-old boy during the Napoleonic Wars as he enters the naval military, and he is English, and this is like a saga. There are 11 books. It's funny, the thrift store had all 11 books, but they were like hidden in this corner. So if I like this one, I could probably go get the rest of the series because I'm sure they're still there. And some of my absolute favorites from this whole haul, and I'm so happy about, are the entire Anne of Green Gables series in the Virago editions. I got this sealed for $37, so very happy about that. But I have to show you guys the cover. It might take a minute because they're all pretty snug in there. And I also really love the box set in itself. It's very cute. I normally don't keep, oh my gosh. Normally don't keep box sets, but that one's pretty cute. Okay, I've recovered the fallen ones. So first we have Anne of Green Gables. Then we have Anne of Avonlea with Diana and Anne. Then the one I'm currently on, Anne of the Island. It's such an autumnal cover, it's so beautiful. Then we have Anne of Windy Willows, very spring. Anne's House of Dreams. I love her dress in that one. Anne of Ingleside with all of her kids. And then these last two follow more her children than Anne per se, but we have Rainbow Valley and Rilla of Ingleside. So I'm so excited to read all them. Those are my favorite covers of them. So when I saw them for only $37, I knew I had to get them. Then we have a series that's a bit similar to Anne of Green Gables, but that's the Little House on the Prairie series. We're currently doing a grand rewatch of the show. I grew up watching that show, and we're currently doing a giant rewatch of it. And I was like, I've never read the books, and I really want to. So I got these ones. These are the Dean edition. These are the only ones that, oh my gosh, they're falling everywhere. These are the only ones that I really like. And so we have Little House in the Big Woods, Little House on the Prairie, On the Banks of Plum Creek, By the Shores of Silver Lake, The Long Winter, Little Town on the Prairie, and finally, These Golden Years. So I'm really excited to finally read that series. I think I'm going to like it a lot because I feel like it's kind of similar to Anne. Okay, now we shall get into the birthday books. I actually got to go to the super cool indie bookstore. I'll tell you guys which books are from that bookstore, but it was so cool. But the first one we have is Redemption by Katherine Jordan. This is the 4th book in the Keeper of Light series, and I'm so excited to continue this series because I think the last time I read book 3, or the time I read book 3 was August or September, so it's been a while. I also think this is the shortest out of the whole series. Here is bloodshed compared to it. That's the 3rd book. So I do think this is the shortest of the series, but I am so excited to continue the series. There's 6 books, so I'm making my way through it. I definitely want to probably buy the other 2 and just finish the series this year because I need to know what happens. I just have to know. Then we have a book I've already read because I could not resist, but that's The Woods and Wisp by Paola Merrill, and it is actually signed. It's so cool. This is one I got from the indie bookstore, and this book is so cute. Honestly, the cover does not sell you. Little wisp with a mushroom hat. And something funny about this book was the dust jacket was about about half an inch taller than the book, and it kept getting damaged, so I decided to cut it, and God must have been with me because I've never been able to cut in a straight line before, but it turned out pretty good. And yeah, I've already read this. I adore this book. Then we have one whose cover is so adorable, but that's The Size of a Mustard Seed by Val Melvis. It's so cute. And the back as well. This is a more cozy fantasy. I forgot to read the backs of the last couple of ones. I completely forgot about that. But I'll read the back of this one. Okay. In the sunlit mountain village of Uliat, 16-year-old Zamina Helvarez is content with her life as an outcast. As a deaf apothecary apprentice, Zamina spends her days gathering herbs, avoiding the townsfolk, and guarding the burned sanctuary entrusted to her. However, her peaceful routine is shattered when she discovers an unconscious, amnesiac stranger behind the sanctuary's locked gates. Thaddeus Rufus Montgomery III has a problem. He can't remember. Despite his photographic memory, the talented inventor finds himself on the run from dark powers with no recollection of how or why he ended up in Zamina's land. As the 2 young adults try to navigate their new lives, forge friendships, and move forward, disaster crouches at the doorstep. When a mysterious material is unearthed in Anboto Mountain, home of a legendary dark figure, a new mining company dealing in gold and secret arrives, strange events start to unfold. As new friends and foes flood into the village, legendary creatures presumed to be mere myths begin to appear. Forced to take an active stand, Zamina and Thaddeus embark on a perilous journey to reclaim his memories, unravel the mystery, and thwart the sinister schemes of the immortal Queen Mira before it's too late. I think I mentioned this book in the Clean Fantasy I'm Excited For video, but I'm so excited to read this one. It is a series. I don't know when book 2 is coming out, but the author just announced that she's starting another series, which is like memoirs about mystical animals. So very excited for that too. Then we have Echo North by Joanna Ruth Meyer. This is an author I've wanted to try for a while because one of the authors I really love, Alyssa J. Zavalianos, really loves her books. And I was like, well, if she likes them, I probably will too because I love her books. But the back of this one says, Echo Alcave's safe and carefully structured world falls apart when her father leaves for the city and mysteriously disappears. Believing he is lost forever, Echo is shocked to find him half frozen in the winter forest 6 months later, guarded by a strange talking wolf, the same creature who attacked her as a child. The wolf presents Echo with an ultimatum. If she lives with him for 1 year, he will ensure her father makes it home safely, but there is more to the wolf than Echo realizes. In his enchanted house beneath a mountain, each room must be sewn together to keep the home from unraveling, and something new and dark and strange lies behind every door. When centuries-old secrets unfold, Echo discovers a magical library full of books turned mirrors, and a young man named Hal who is trapped inside of them. As the year takes by, the rooms begin to disappear, and Echo must solve the mystery of the wolf's enchantment before her time is up. Otherwise, Echo, the wolf, and Hal will be lost forever. So it does sound extremely exciting, and she has written quite a lot of books, so if I like this one, I have a lot to read from her. Then we have The Betrayal of Eden by Erin Phillips. This is a retelling of The Count of Monte Cristo, and I really want to read this one soon because she just announced that the second book, The Hunt for Calypso, the pre-orders are open, and it's coming out in April, and if you pre-order, you might get the book earlier because she's not releasing the cover until release day. She's not previewing the cover at all. So I was like, if I like this one, I can definitely pre-order the other one. But yeah, this is more a fantasy retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo. This is part of the Grimoire and Key series, and I'm very excited. I got a hardcover, which is always something to be excited about. I have one that I got from the indie bookstore, and that's the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson. I really wanted to read a Brandon Sanderson, however, I'm really trying to read the Cosmere in order, and the next book I need to read is Mistborn, The Well of Ages, which I am really excited for. But this one is not part of the Cosmere, so I can read it whenever I want, and I also think this book is going to be very funny because the main premise is that a man wakes up in medieval England with no memory of how he got there, and all he has is a book that's called The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. So I am super excited. I think this is gonna be hilarious. There are also really fun like photos, and it's just so silly sounding. Some of the photos are super cool, like that one, The Wizard's Burden. But I was flipping through some of the illustrations, and it's hilarious already. So I can't wait to read this one. And I just love Brandon Sanderson as an author, so that one's gonna be so good. And I was shocked by this, but one book on my list was Moonscript by H.S.J. Williams, and I got both of the books in the series. I was so shocked and so excited to have both of them so I can read both of these books. The first one is Moonscript, and this is the series The Kings of Alsylvia. And I do really love the artwork on both of these covers. They're really well put together books because there are some illustrations, and also the chapter markers with the moons flipped upside down and stuff is cool. But let me try and find an illustration in here. Oh, it's so cool. It might be a little too dark to register. Oh, that looks pretty good. That's so cool. Also, this one, it's at the end. Is that a spoiler? I'm not sure. However, very excited to read this series, and I shall read the back of the first one to you guys. 70 years. 70 years the elven prince has been lost to the darkness, assumed dead by his people, and endlessly broken for a book that connects to the hidden world of his ancestors, a world untouched by evil. And now a light in the shadows, a chance for freedom, but those willing to help him come from the unlikeliest of worlds. The orphan girl yearning for a loving family, and the boy who won't leave her side. A healer maiden given an unexpected chance for a life beyond narrow expectations. A grieving creature flown far from home. I think that must be the dragon. They all search for something, and now their fates are tied to his. If their quest for life can pull him from the dark mire in which his soul drowns, then perhaps he can be saved, or else he will drag them all down to a fate worse than death. This series is going to be so good. I don't know if it's just a duology or if there's going to be more. If there is more, that's very exciting, but if it's just a duology, that's cool too. And I got this little cute one also from in the bookstore, and that's Viking Folk and Fairy Tales in the little pocket collector's edition. I love folk and fairy tales. If you've been watching many of my videos, folklore is one of my favorite genres right now and my fastest growing one. So when I saw the little tiny ones, I was like, I have to get one, and this one sounded very interesting, and I cannot wait to read it. I'm so excited. Then we have a Tolkien pile, because of course we have a separate Tolkien pile. But starting off with these three, only one of them in the stack is from Middle Earth, and that's Bilbo's Last Song, which I've already read. This has such beautiful illustrations in it, and it's so sweet. Like, here's just an example of the illustrations. Definitely pick this book up. It's so cool. Yeah, like I've said, I've already read it because I couldn't help myself. Then all of these are retellings of myths by Tolkien. So we have The Lay of Atro and Itrone, and this is a retelling of a Breton lord and lady residing in Britain's land beyond the seas during the mythic age of chivalry. So very excited for that one. Then we have The Fall of Arthur, and it recounts the last campaign of King Arthur, who, even as he stands at the threshold of Mirkwood, is summoned back to Britain by news of the treachery of Mordred. I do really love the myths of King Arthur. I have read one iteration of them, so another one is always welcome. Then we have The Legend of Sigurd and Gudrun, and it's a J.R.R. Tolkien's retelling of the epic tale of the Norse hero Sigurd, the dragon slayer, and the terrible revenge of his wife Gudrun upon those who wronged her. Then we have this last book in this haul, which is one of the coolest, and that's The Illustrated World of Tolkien, The Second Age by David Day. It is cloth bound, it is huge, it is incredible. I mean, it is so cool. There are illustrations on practically every page, and they're all incredible, and I cannot wait to just really savor the illustrations and the beauty of them. And since he says the second age, that must mean there's a first and third one. So I'm gonna have to get those, because now I have to complete the collection and have all of these together because they're so beautiful. But yes, my friends, that is my birthday book haul. Thank you guys so much for watching and for waiting for this video, because it's been a little bit. And I will see you again soon, and goodbye.